Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Archie's Briefings. I'm your host, Arshel Branch, and today, you guys, we are going to talk about the Trump executive orders. Not all of them, just two of them. The two that I kind of was very interested in. One of them being the transgender executive order saying that America will only acknowledge, at least the US government is only going to acknowledge two genders. And the reactions on this is quite interesting, specifically because people are going on TikTok, which is the other executive order, the TikTok ban reversal. These are two quite fascinating executive orders to me because there's a lot of irony, the delusion. It's quite hilarious and astounding, and all of which we are going to talk about today. Before we go ahead and dive into the episode, you guys take the time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so that way you never miss an episode. You can follow me on Instagram at Archie Financial. And guess what, you guys? To add to the humor of this, I did sign up for TikTok today. I will get into the reasons why later in the episode. So let's go ahead. Let's talk why T is for trans and TikTok. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about it, shall we?
There is something that has been on my heart that I did want to discuss. Discipline is a huge part of being productive, being lucrative. I am not for anything that goes against true productivity, true sovereignty of the individual. The choices that we make are what's going to be up for judgment.
Okay, you guys, so as I said in the open, we are going to talk about why T is for trans and for TikTok today. The two executive orders out of many executive orders that President Trump passed yesterday after the inauguration. I was so happy. Yesterday was a great day. You guys already know. You saw the video that I posted earlier today. I was very excited about the inauguration because bye-bye Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the nonsense that comes from the left. And so that brings us to the transgender executive order, why the U.S. government is only going to acknowledge two genders, male and female. Right now, you could say gender, you could say sex. It's just there's two of them, right? Male, female. I don't know why the transgenders are losing their minds, because if you're transitioning from one to the next, then you should still be able to click M or F. You just can't go into, the opposite bathroom. So if you're a man who transitioned to a woman, you got to go to the men's room. If you're a woman who transitioned into a man, you got to go to the woman's room, right? That's how that goes. Now, unless there's a public bathroom that says anybody can go in, then how about it? Go do your thing. No one even really cares. No one, go do your thing, right? Like, that's what you want to do. Go ahead and do that. But if you were born a man, you go to the men's room. Born a female, you go to the female room. Okay, you go to the women's room. That's just how that goes. And they're losing their minds over this. But now here's the thing. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is a clip of President Trump at a church with his family at a church. And I won't lie to you. I kind of thought someone was doing some editing skills here, that maybe this wasn't real. There's no way that in a church someone brought this up, right? I mean, it's kind of outrageous. You would think that there would be some understanding, at least from the church, as to why people feel the way that they feel. That this is something that women were ready to rumble over, right? So let's go ahead and let's run that clip for you guys of Trump and his family at the church, and then we'll take it from there, shall we? Let's go ahead. Let's do that. Okay, guys, so here we are. Obviously, we could tell that the Reverend Pastor, I don't know what you want to, or, she's clearly a woman, clearly. So let's go ahead. Let's run it. I'll let you guys decide for yourselves.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people, the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation.
I'm going to stop it there because she's going into illegal immigration, and that's not the point of this episode today. But the fact that she used her platform, the church, to defend criminals and delusion. Okay, if God is truth, why are you advocating for adults engaging in the lie that they could switch genders? Okay, you're not going to force the rest of the United States into believing in your delusion. Now, if you want me to call you by the name that you chose for yourself and not the name that your parents gave you at birth, that's fine. I'm willing to do that. But you're out of your mind if you think I'm going to switch my language as it relates to pronouns When clearly you're a he, I'm not going to call you she. I'm not going to refer to you as she. I will use the name that you want me to use. Okay. So you were Carl. Now you're Carla. But there are only two genders. I thought you were switching from one to the next. If that's the case, then why is it such an issue that the United States only acknowledges the two genders? If that's what the executive order is about, acknowledging two genders, then what is your issue? And that, you look at the whole problems that you saw on Capitol Hill between Nancy Mace and Representative Crockett when they were talking about why, at least Nancy Mace not wanting to have all of these, excuse my language, chicks with dicks going into the ladies' room, that as a survivor of assault, that she did not feel comfortable with men who dress up like women going into the ladies' rooms and into the locker rooms, especially at Congress, because again, a transgender had now been elected into office. So we're seeing them get elected. Okay. It was like seeing the socialists get elected in America. It was quite shocking. I couldn't even believe it was happening, but it's happening. Okay. Transgenders are getting into positions of power. And that was obviously concerning to Nancy Mace. And she brought this up. Jasmine Crockett was absolutely ridiculous. But if this is a situation that we're going to be in, of course, we're going to be like, what the heck is going on here?
What was that? What was that? What was that?
And so now that takes us into the everyday citizen rant about this, the reactions to this. Now, obviously, we saw the church reacting to the executive orders. Oh, gays and trans people are scared. I don't care if they're scared. Frankly, I don't think gays should be scared, okay? If you're gay or lesbian, you shouldn't be scared. This has got nothing to do with liking or being attracted to the same sex or gender, right? It's got nothing to do with that. It's got everything to do with the delusion that you can switch from one gender to the next. And the reactions, funnily enough, on TikTok, that takes us to the irony of this whole thing, really. They're on TikTok complaining about how scared, they're crying, whining, and I find it hilarious. We're going to go ahead and we're going to see some of those. Let's go ahead and let's run those, and I'll give you my reaction based off of that. Shall we?
Donald Trump was inaugurated at 12, and just a few minutes ago, he has now claimed that there will only be the male and female gender that will be recognized in America. This sets back everything that the trans community has been working for, and we have already not been recognized in this country for centuries. If we remember, gay marriage became legal 10 years ago. We had just earned the right to change our gender on our passports and IDs. Just because I want to identify as a man does not mean I am trying to hurt you. In these next 4 years, you are going to hear the most intense anti-trans propaganda you have ever heard in your entire life.
Bring it on.
They're going to strew it in a way that sounds extremely convincing because it will fear-monger. It will fear-monger everyone's insecurities.
Oh, God.
Please talk to your neighbors. Protect your trans community. Stay involved. And do not forget us, because history will try to erase us.
Hey guys, everything feels really out of control and scary, and I'm really anxious. Elon Musk did a Nazi salute for some reason. It's so scary. And Donald.
Okay, first of all, look, y'all know how I feel. I do not like Elon Musk. I think that man is straight. He's Lex Luthor, borderline Antichrist, in my opinion. Okay, I don't like Elon Musk worth a damn. However, let's not confuse him with a Nazi. He was giving his heart away to the crowd. Watch the whole thing. Stop just okay, let it rock.
Trump's the president, and that's so scary. And he basically admitted to voter fraud, but we're all just kind of glossing over that. Also, if you look up, this is random, if you look up right now in the search bar on TikTok, the Taylor Swift song, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, it's all, for me at least, I'll tell you, it's all, replaced with woman, ? What is about to happen? I have, such, impending doom and fear, and, what is about to happen? So.
I'm going to leave it there, guys. I find it absolutely hilarious. They don't even it is hilarious. I'm dying. I can't, it's too funny. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? They're changing the word. It's woman. I mean, stop. Get a life. That y'all are making videos crying on camera. First of all, I don't think that anybody should be crying on camera. You really shouldn't. Unless you're an actress doing this, I don't think you should be crying on camera. You won't ever catch me crying on camera. They'll have days where I'm emotional and I'm in my emotions and I get very heated and I get loud. Sometimes I slip up and drop a cuss word here or there, right? That happens, right? But you won't ever catch me crying on camera. They go on TikTok to cry and whine, and I can't stand it. And I find it fascinating that they are going to TikTok to complain about this. Now, why is the irony hilarious here? Like, they're going to the very app that was about to be gone had it not been for the guy that they're afraid of right now. Like, you only have this voice on TikTok because he reversed the ban. Like, yo, I find it hysterical. Now, that doesn't mean that because you're this president whom you never liked and don't like does something good for you that you're just going to say thank you, right? You're just not going to do that. Like I said in yesterday's episode or this morning's episode, that's never going to be the case. You're never going to say thank you, right? You're just never going to get it. I just kind of find that the irony is astounding and it's hilarious. I don't even get why they're not catching that. You know, if you really felt the kind of way, why not go to Instagram or Facebook? But then they don't like Zuckerberg either because his behind was at the inauguration. There was just nowhere the trans people could go where they could say what they're going to say and a conservative is not going to hear about it. Okay. There's nowhere you can go where the big tech company is not going to allow the rebut. Okay. And what's ironic here is that you went to the app that Trump had to save. Like, yo.
And they're going crazy. They're going crazy.
And that's what's so interesting about the whole thing, right? Because, you can't stand the man because, I'm not going to be acknowledged in America because I'm a crazy person. And you're going to go to the very app that was about to be banned that he passed yet another executive order. In the same day, he said, you are insane, in my opinion. That's not what he said, not by words. Don't think that my words are his. I'm saying it, okay? I think this executive order acknowledges that these people are crazy, okay? You're nuts, okay? You're nuts. And if you have them and think you're female, you're definitely nuts. So, yeah, I think that that's what this acknowledges. And you're going to go to TikTok, the app that he saved, the company, the social media that he saved. And that is going to take us into this conversation of TikTok because I did find it fascinating. Obviously, there was a lot of people who were upset when they first heard about the ban, which I kind of ignored for a bit, right? I was somebody who didn't have a TikTok, who didn't care about it. I just knew it's a Chinese company. They're spying on Americans. I'm not going to engage with this app. I don't care to use this. I have a bunch of social medias anyway. Why is this one any different? Didn't care to use it at all. And then as we started to get closer and closer, you started to see a lot of people complaining. A lot of young people, Gen Zers, were crying over this, right? And then the day came where the ban actually happened. It was on Sunday, this passing Sunday. We're at 11:30, not even 12, okay? At 11:30, January 19th, the message goes out. Oh my goodness, you will not be able to use TikTok. And the freakouts began. And I think that that is quite interesting to me. So before I go any further about the TikTok thing and why I created a TikTok for myself, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play a video, just really quick, short, so that way you can get some other context as to why TikTok being banned would be problematic. I don't agree with the ban. Let me just say that to begin with. When the ban happened, I didn't agree with it. I didn't know how I felt about it at first. And then with further thought, I thought, yeah, nah, I don't agree with this. I really don't. I don't know how I feel about the government banning something for the safety of the American people after COVID. Yeah, I don't care what you think is in my best interest. You destroyed lives because you thought you were saving them. And I don't know if I'm okay with that, especially with this particular thing. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna run this clip and then you guys, we're gonna discuss what we watch. So let's go ahead, let's run that clip, shall we? Okay, guys, so here you have in this video a business owner who utilizes the TikTok shop and why TikTok was so important to her. And so it was her video, really, it was this interview that kind of changed my view on using TikTok. Not so much banning it, but American usage of it. So let's run it, shall we?
We've done 3 million in a single day. And not only just us, a lot of people are connected to our brand through affiliates. They make money off of this. So I feel like if TikTok shop was to leave, I would personally consider it to be one of the greatest like layoffs in American history.
So all right, let's talk about that. And let's look at these numbers here as well. And then I'll just wrap this up. I got a little bit more that I want to play from this interview here. But let's just talk about that first, right? She says this is going to be one of the greatest layoffs. So that's how this is going to feel. The greatest layoff. Because you can see, but the problem is, look at these numbers. 1.5 million total units sold, over $38 million total gross merchandise value. She's got over 19,000 affiliates, meaning people are selling these products right along with her and they get paid to do that. Over 400,000 followers and 160 million views. I mean, that translating over into how much money a person could make, it's just tremendous. And by removing TikTok, not only are you hurting her business, you're hurting the people who are earning money by promoting her products as well. There's another part of this interview that I do want you guys to see, because that talks to the differences between TikTok and other social media platforms. We're going to run that, and then I'll give you guys my summary of what I actually think about this whole thing here, but this whole thing of these executive orders, what I expect to see and all the rest of it. So let's go ahead and let's run the rest of that, shall we?
So now that you know, because we all thought a few weeks ago, maybe this isn't going to happen. And now it's like, okay, maybe it is. So what's the backup plan?
So I feel like no one really knows. A lot of people right now are already omni-channel. So we're on other platforms, but there's nothing like the power of the TikTok algorithm. And there's nothing like what TikTok has been able to do with TikTok Shop.
Have you tried Instagram or some of the other options?
Oh, definitely. We've tried other platforms. We've seen success with other platforms, but we've never seen anything like TikTok Shop.
Let's talk about that bit before I give you guys my whole summary about these executive orders. There is nothing like the TikTok algorithm. That's what the young woman said. That's what this business owner, this millionaire business owner, has made it clear. There is nothing like the TikTok algorithm. And so having an Instagram, having a Facebook, it's okay. It's fine. It's not, I have an Instagram, I have a Facebook. Definitely follow me on those things. Thank you guys. Friend me, follow me. You know which word is specific to which platform. But why the TikTok algorithm is seeming to be superior to all of it. You have the opportunity of going viral faster on TikTok, that you have the opportunity of meeting your customer base faster and getting sales faster. So now when you're someone who's building a business, you relies heavily on sales, the way I do as a person who's a contractor in life insurance, for example, you want to be able to go viral. You want to be able to promote yourself, promote your business, promote your contracting work, because, the more I promote myself, the more likely I am to get the leads. So if I can convert views and follows into leads where I can sell life insurance, then I get to make more money. And that's kind of the idea here. And I have the ability to make that happen in a much larger way with TikTok than I would be able to on Instagram, even here on YouTube, right? Love YouTube, love that I can have these longer formats. I think it's amazing. But that's kind of the whole thing there. And that by him passing the executive order to reverse this ban, I was very happy with, right? It's like, okay, well, when he does what he does with TikTok, I'll get on it. I trust this administration more. At this point, it's like, okay, well, even if you sign up, China still gets your data. Well, okay, I don't trust the federal government anymore with my data than I trust China. What's one tyrannical government over the next? So, listen, I trust President Trump to the degree. At the same time, what's stopping our federal government from spying on me when they do it anyway, right? They spy on us anyway. We saw that all through COVID. We saw that all through the Biden era. I'm not convinced that this government is somehow better than China just because they're willing to lie to me about how they're better than China. And I'm not quite convinced. And if I have the opportunity where I can make some money off of TikTok in a way that I wasn't able to with YouTube, with Instagram and Facebook, then why not take that advantage of that opportunity? And the irony of this whole thing, that the very people who are complaining about President Trump, and they don't like all these executive orders, are going to the very app that, had it not been for him, you would not even be able to use to complain about. And Zuckerberg is friends with America First. So are you concerned that he's going to start silencing and censoring you? I don't approve of that. But what's stopping him from doing that? Elon Musk has already proven to be censoring people that he doesn't agree with. And so what's to say that you won't have that with Twitter? I don't trust Zuckerberg. I don't trust Elon. Frankly, I feel like I fell through the looking glass. Zuckerberg is all about free speech and Elon is the one censoring people. What is going on? It's what is happening? I don't even understand how this is happening at all. And I just, again, the irony is astounding. I love these two executive orders. Number one, because we acknowledge that there are only two sexes. There is male, there is female. It is true. Trying to pretend otherwise is just demonic and problematic, and I just have issues with that. The reversal of the TikTok ban does give business owners an opportunity to take advantage of the 90 days of the ban halt. So if you are someone like me, you're a contractor, you're a business owner, you're trying to make sales while you can, utilize it, because as that young woman said, there is nothing like the TikTok algorithm. Okay, there's nothing like it. I don't even know their Instagram. So even after it gets sold to an American company, if that algorithm isn't the same, and there's no reason for me to have it, right? I'm going to take advantage of it while I can right now because, well, I am a contractor. A girl's got to make sales somehow. That's how I pay my bills. So something that you got to take care of. You all get in the comment sections and let me know what you think of these 2 executive orders. As I said, there are plenty other executive orders that he passed yesterday. These 2 were the most fascinating to me. Well, not the most fascinating. Obviously, there was a border executive order. We're going to talk about that this week as well. But I was very excited about this, very excited. And the very people who were complaining about why they don't like President Trump are going to TikTok to complain about him. So again, as I said in the episode I posted this morning, guys, you're welcome. Your free speech has been restored. You're welcome. And with that, I will leave you guys to comment in the comments section to let me know what you think about these executive orders, okay? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. You can follow me on TikTok now, folks. You can follow me on TikTok at Archie Financial. You can follow me on Instagram at Archie Financial. You can also follow me on Twitter at Archie_finance. Thank you all for watching. God bless and Kepler.